does Gary Kohner have a point? When you consider that the US labour market is moving towards full employment, are we going to see wage growth, and are we going to see that spill over into inflation next year? What are the implications for the market if it does?
I'd like him to explain to me where the inflation is going to come from. The so-called Phillips curve that he is basing his judgment on has absolutely failed to predict anything these days. The correlation that is supposed to be inverse between unemployment and the actual rate of inflation has broken down. There are all sorts of reasons for that. Everything from globalization to the fact that people are staying longer in the workforce, that they are more interested in job security than they are in higher wages. There is a whole slew of reasons why, not just in the United States, but in Europe as well, and also in the developing sector. There is no inflation to be found at this point in time.
OK, Uwe, but what if the Trump tax plan does come to the table, it is passed, and this is late cycle economic stimulus, we see potentially inflation overshoot, then the Fed is going to have to rip up the script and move more aggressively. Isn't that a grey swan risk for the markets?
I don't really see that happening. I think that what we're going to see is essentially a demand-side stimulus. I think that this is not a supply-side reform as it is made out to be. This is very much unlike what the Reagan tax cut was all about. The Reagan tax cut, we came off very high interest rates under Paul Volcker. We moved into a lower interest rate regime, and there was the ability for massive structural reforms actually taking place in the labor market and elsewhere. None of this is at all possible at this point in time, and that's why I think the bond market in particular is not doing anything.